Hi everybody, this is Sue. Today is February 10th, 2024, and it's 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to make a purse today, so I thought I would show you how I do it. There's hundreds of different ways to do it, so mine's not the only way. Um, so I cut this out last night, and I still don't know what I'm going to do with the handles, but I cut this out of scraps that a friend of mine gave me. I have a friend who is a world-class quilter. She has quilts that are on the world tour. And so about, I don't know, 6 months or so ago, she gave me several bags of scraps that she had that she just didn't want anymore. So I cut this out of some of those scraps that she gave me. So I will show you. Okay. Let's put this down so you can see this. Oh, shoot. Let's see. I might turn this completely around, because I think it'll drop down a little bit better on this side of the okay. Now maybe this will work, I hope. Okay. All right. So this is going to be the outside of the bag, and this is going to be the lining. I hope you can see that. Just a minute, I forgot to turn the overhead light on. Okay, maybe now you can see it. This is the lining, and this is the outside of the bag. Now what I did was I cut a 12-inch square, and then to make the bottom corners, I cut these corners here at 2.5 by 2.5. And I cut them on all four of the two outside panels and the two inside panels. And this will make the bottom of the bag, like that. I'll show you how to do that when we get to it. All right, so one of the things I've been debating about is what to do with the handles. Like I said, everybody's got their own way of doing things. So, mine's not the only way. Mine's just the right one for me. So I will show you how I do this, and maybe it'll give you some ideas. Now, this right here is the pockets. And what I do with pockets is, like, I cut the outside and the lining at 12 by 12 inches. So I cut this at 12 by 12. Then when I put that on, I will fold that in half. And then the pocket will be automatically lined, and we won't have to worry about that. Now then, on the inside pockets, I didn't have enough fabric to do that. So these are the pockets for the inside. We're going to do something a little bit different, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So right now, because I was running out of fabric, I cut the handles kind of short, and I cut 4 of them so I could make long handles if I wanted to, or I could make short handles, or I could just make one short handle on the side, which is what I did the last time. But I think I'm going to make, and I'm trying to decide if I want to make, let's see, if I want to make one long handle going from, let me raise you up just a tad here, going from one side to the other side, or if I want to make 2 handles going across like this, and I get a hold of it, going across like this. So I haven't quite decided yet, or if I want to make one going on the side like this, which is what I did the last time. But because I had to cut them short, if I want to make long handles, I'm gonna have to sew 2 pieces together, which is what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sew 2 pieces together, and then I'm going to, I have scraps here of batting. Then I'm going to put it on the inside. That makes the handles kind of puffy. And so that's what I'm going to do with that. So let's get started. We're going to sew these 2 short handles together to make one long handle, and then we'll proceed on from there. So I will put you over here, and so I think that'll work. Now, this sewing machine in real life is not very loud, but for some reason the microphone really on this phone, the microphone on it really picks it up, and it really just sounds really super loud. So I'm going to pause this and sew this together so that your ears are not deafened by this. So I'm going to pause it, and then I'll show you what I did. Okay, so I sewed the 2 together, and I went ahead and I pressed them. And what you do with that, can you see? No, you can't. All right. Let's see if we can get you down here where I can show you. Let's see. Okay. So to press them, you fold them in half first, press that down. Then you take the sides, you open it up, take the sides and fold in toward that center seam that you just pressed, like this, and then fold them over again, and you're going to sew that down. Now then, I want to put a little bit of batting in here, and I think this is too thick. So I'm going to just cut this down. I've been watching that commercial for those Guggenheim scissors, and look at this. See how these are cheap Fiskars from Walmart. I'd love to have those Guggenheim scissors, but I can't afford that right now. My rent went up by $70 a month. I couldn't believe it. You know, I told her, I said, I don't have any intentions of moving. And, where would I go, for one thing? For one thing, where would I go? Alright. So, here it is. I've laid this batting down in here. As you can see, I just kind of laid it up against one side, and so I'm just going to fold it over like that, and where's my clips? You know, if you feel like you need to pin it or clip it, why, go right ahead. Don't hurt anything. I normally don't do that, but, you know, it doesn't hurt anything. And these clips actually have a top and a bottom. There's, I don't know if you can see this or not. Get this in here. Straighten this up. I can talk to you a little bit here. Okay. If you look at this, there's a flat side and there's a curved side. The flat side goes down on the bottom so that it will slide through your machine a little bit better. Of course, you don't want to sew over top of your clips, but yeah, take a look at them and make sure that the flat side is going down. So all right. So I expected this to be a little bit bigger than what it is, but that's okay. That's fine. It's going to be fine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to sew it here on this side to close it down, and then just as a decorative stitch we're going to go across. Can you see? We're going to sew it down on this side, and then just as a decorative stitch we're going to sew on this side too. So again, I am going to I'm going to pause the camera. I would like to show you the stitching, but once I realized that the microphone on this phone is just really picking up that sewing machine noise, I decided maybe you didn't enjoy that too much. So, in fact, I think I had one lady complain that it was too loud for her. And I apologize for that, because I didn't realize. So I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to kind of put it up a little bit, back stitch, and stitch forward. And then that will catch it. And then I'll stitch along this edge here, I hope you can see. I'm gonna back stitch and then stitch forward and then stitch all the way down to the end, turn it around and stitch on the other side. And I'll show you what it looks like when I get done. So I'm going to pause this. Hi there. Okay, I finished making these, whoops, this is crooked. Let me straighten this out. It's kind of fell over and it's kind of crooked. Okay, I finished making these handles. As you can see, I sewed them closed on this side, and then I just to make them look a little better, I went ahead and sewed them on the other side. So, and I was thinking while I was doing this, and I think, let's take a look at this and let's see. I think what I'm going to do, and I may change my mind, but I think I'm going to put them like this. And maybe something like this. Can you see? Can you see? I hope you can. I'm gonna do something like this. And then put the pocket on top, like that. And the pocket will be divided here in the middle, like this. Where's my pin cushion? I have a great big pin cushion. I think I'd be able to find it. There's one of my other pin cushions. It's way up over there. I can't reach it. Oh well, I can't find it right now. But I think, see, because it will be sewn down here on the sides and sewn down here in the middle. And so what we're going to do is we're going to sew it down like this, fold it up, sew it down like this, sew the sides and sew the middle. That's what we're going to do. And something like that. But I think that's going to look good. With the pockets coming down. Yeah. Can you see? I got all kinds of light in this room, and I feel like it's dark in here. I mean, I've got up overhead, I've got 4 lights, I've got 3 lights here, I've got these lights here, and I'm sitting in front of a double window. Yeah. See, I'm sitting in front of a double window. You'd think there'd be plenty of light in here, but apparently there's not. I just turned around the wrong way. Maybe not. Okay. All right. So The next thing I'm going to do is sorry about that. I'm charging my phone. I forgot to charge it last night. So I've got this cord coming out of the bottom end of my phone because I forgot to charge it last night. So, and then I got it tangled up in this. So the next thing, where is it? Well, the next thing I was going to do was quilt on the, what happened to it? Oh, it's over here. Part of it is, where's the rest of it? Anyway, I'm going to quilt this onto the outside. This is batting. And I was going through my bag of scrap batting and I found this and I thought, okay, this works. I thought they were about the same size, but they're not, but it's going to be okay. The batting is stretchy, so it'll work. So anyway, I'm going to quilt this batting onto it, and I thought I'm going to have to look. I don't know where it went, but somewhere around here. Anyway, I'm going to quilt this batting onto this. So I'm going to pause it while I do that, and then I'll show it to you. And I hope that this works out all right. So, and then there should be a piece. This will work. There should be a piece for the bottom. Yep. But I think this is going to work. This isn't what I had cut out for it, but this is going to work. I don't know where the part that I had cut out, where it's at, but I'm going to make do with what I got. Okay, so I'm going to pause this. I'm going to do the quilting, and then I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll move on from there. And this really is kind of a quick project, and I hope that you enjoy it. I hope you do. You know what? I just happened to think, what I need to do on these pockets is fold them, is to hem them across the bottom here, so I don't have to fold them. And then I will show you something that I do, because once I do that, once I sew these across the bottom, I'll just go ahead and do this. I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and do this and I'll show it to you so that you can see. All right. Let me show you this, because this is, I think it's kind of good. So I'll pause this and I'll show you what this is like. So I sewed it across the bottom like this. Now we're going to turn it, made it into a tube. We're going to turn it like this, and we're going to I can get this straightened out. There we go. Now then, what we're going to do is we're going to put this toward the back. It's going to ride on the back, and you can do that anywhere you want. You can put it down like this. You can put it up here in the middle. Press this, of course. Press this open before you do this so it's not a big lump. But this is kind of the idea. And then when you put it on here, like this, then you're not fighting with it. It's, you sew it across the bottom here, and then you sew it up the middle, and then this gets caught into the side seam. I hope you can see that. So then it looks, you know, there's no bulk down here. There's no bulk up here. You do have that seam. It's in the back, and you can put it wherever you want it. I mean, you can play around with it and decide exactly where in the back you want that side seam to go, where that bottom seam to go. You can play around with it and decide, yeah, I want it here, or I want it, but it's in the back. Nobody ever sees it. So that's how you do that. Make sure you press this. But that's how we're going to do that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to quilt this and the bottom part. Excuse me. All of a sudden I've got a dry throat. So I am going to pause this while I quilt this, because I really like quilting. I really think it's pretty. So I try to put it on things that I make because I think it's pretty. I do not consider myself to be a quilter. I've made a few miniature quilts, which I have hanging up around my apartment, but I don't consider myself to be a quilter. Not even close. So I will pause this and I will be back. Hey everybody. I've been busy. I had to stop and fill a bobbin, and I ran out of the thread that I was using, so I had to get another spool of thread, and I decided to go ahead and choose a spool that was the same color as these little flowers right here. And so it's if I can get it in the picture. Why can't I get it? There it is. There's the spool thread that I decided to use. And so also, if you have pieces of batting and that's all you've got, you can zigzag them together. Just butt them up beside each other and zigzag them together, and you've got a bigger piece of batting than what you had before. And so I just thought I'd tell you that in case you didn't know that this is possible. So I haven't gotten around to quilting this yet, and I think I'm going to stop and eat lunch because I'm getting hungry. So I will be back. Since I am pausing this, it may not seem as long to you as it does to me. So I will be back in a few minutes. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be right back.